All praises be to Allah, the creator of this world and all its affairs. It is through His divine wisdom that our universe is governed by natural laws. Like the natural laws of physics, our society and its affairs are also governed by a set of principles. Quran reminds us of this fact. You will not find alterations in the laws of Allah. Throughout history, it has been observed that certain principles dictate the outcome of human interaction. For example, the strength and prosperity of a community is determined by its power and ability to exert influence. Powerful communities thrive and enjoy prosperity, whereas weaker communities find themselves facing hardship and oppression. Unfortunately, for more than 4 centuries, Muslim community has been an object of active oppression, first under colonialism and then post-World War oppression. The plight of Palestinians stand as a clear testament to this oppression, as they suffer atrocities for over a century. As of today, people in Gaza have suffered 8 months of relentless genocide as 2 billion Muslims protest, but are still unable to stop the genocide that is happening under the aegis of the United States. The main cause of this oppression is the ever-expanding material superiority of Western countries over Muslim nations, a disastrous gap that continues to grow in the 21st century. To create a serious positive change in the situation of Muslims, we must revive the long-forgotten concept of empowerment in Islam. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ emphasized this point when he said, "The strong believer is more beloved to Allah than the weak believer, but there is goodness in both of them. Be eager to seek for what benefits you, seek help from Allah, and do not be disheartened." This is also evident by looking at the list of the 10 Sahabas who were given glad tidings of Jannah in this world, that is the Ashra-e Mubashara. Out of these 10 Sahabas, 6 of them were among the richest people of Hijaz at that time. The other 4 companions were people with either exceptional military skills or they had huge influence on Meccan society. Allah strengthened Islam with these empowered individuals who embraced Islam and sincerely utilized their wealth and skills for the cause of Allah. The other example where Prophet ﷺ practically conveyed the importance of empowerment is when he made the dua, "O Allah, strengthen Islam with one of the 2 men whom you love more, Abu Jahl or Umar ibn al-Khattab." When Muslims were in tune with the material realities of the world and valued the concept of community empowerment, they made great progress and emerged as the leaders of the world. However, our world is a very dynamic place and things are constantly changing, which means a community has to keep up with these changes or else it will be left behind. In the 17th century, Europe went through a massive transformation driven by intellectual enlightenment that challenged the corrupt Catholic Church's abuses and superstitions. This was followed by a scientific revolution which ultimately led to the Industrial Revolution. These developments significantly transformed global dynamics. Military power was no longer dependent on swords and horses, but came from advanced weapon technology. Similarly, national wealth was no longer based on manual labor. It came from industrialization, scientific innovation, and in the 21st century, on information technology and AI. Knowledge of science and world affairs was now based on observations instead of abstract traditional theories of Plato and Aristotle. Power in the modern world became entirely dependent on intellectual empowerment in the disciplines of sciences and humanities. This was a radical paradigm shift from the pre-modern times. In pre-modern era, we can see many intellectually advanced empires being defeated by illiterate groups. For example, we saw Mongols and Vikings who defeated many intellectually sophisticated empires of Eurasia. Intellectual development in the field of science, economics, and politics became the key factor of a nation's strength from 17th century. As Europe was undergoing these massive transformations in the 17th century, Muslim empires were busy with their domestic fights and international wars. In the field of academics, emphasis was on studying jurisprudence, law, theology, and logic. This indifference to new global dynamics has persisted in Muslim nations till this date and is a primary reason for the growing power gap between the West and the Muslim world. This gap is also visible in modern cosmopolitan societies where Muslims coexist with different communities who have different ideologies. As philosopher Bertrand Russell puts it, when different ideologies coexist and compete, the ideology which will emerge dominant will be the one which effectively appeals to the human emotions through its intellect and propaganda resources. Unfortunately, our community is not best equipped to win ideological battles in cosmopolitan societies. All this point to one thing. Given the realities of the 21st century, empowerment is the key to stop oppression of Muslims, reverse the cultural hegemony of the West, and bring back the golden age of Islam. Which leads us to the question, what is empowerment? At a basic level, it is having control over things that matter to you and your community. Going one level up, it means influencing the world as per your ideas. Main areas of empowerment are financial, political, military, socio-cultural, and intellectual. All forms of empowerment, however, emerge from intellectual empowerment. By intellectual empowerment, we mean the knowledge, skills, and expertise to run the affairs of the world at various levels. To understand how the 21st century world works, one needs a broad knowledge of history, economics, political sciences, sociology, and philosophy. These disciplines are labeled as liberal sciences. The term liberal is used to describe the goal of these disciplines, which is to provide its student with a comprehensive and diverse educational foundation that extends beyond specialized professional or technical training. Pursuit of liberal sciences is not the same as getting vocational knowledge in the field of, say, engineering and medicine, which makes a person domain specialist and a high-wage earner, but leaves a vacuum in the understanding of the broad system. Knowledge of liberal sciences is what gives a person the power to understand and shape the world. It does so by developing 1. Greater understanding of how the world works, 2. Critical thinking and problem-solving skills, 3. Communication and articulation skills, 4th. Interdisciplinary understanding, and 5th. The ability to research, learn, and come up with innovative solutions. However, there are many challenges for Muslims in liberal sciences. Key hurdles are 1. It doesn't pay like vocational knowledge. 2. Muslims were traditionally discriminated against in these disciplines as an outsider who comes from an uncivilized community. This discrimination was present at both academic level and institutional level, which in turn produced a subconscious disgust in Muslims against these disciplines of knowledge, which doesn't even pay well. But changes are coming. The discriminatory, high-handed attitude in the disciplines of liberal sciences is fast disappearing in the 21st century. Many disciplines, such as history and philosophy, which discriminated Muslims as a backward community and Islam as a violent ideology, are fast retracting the narrative. A positive depiction of Muslim and Islam is gaining ground. Additionally, the knowledge of liberal sciences is becoming a valuable addition to the professional qualification for a successful career. With these changes in place and the importance of liberal sciences, it is time for us to excel in these areas and change the narrative in favor of Muslims. If we keep ignoring intellectual empowerment, the outcome will be disastrous. It will lead to, first, disempowerment in the fields of politics, economics, and military strength. It will lead to community becoming a trend follower instead of trendsetter, and the community members, especially the youth, becoming insecure and losing their identity. Worst of all, we will not be able to diagnose the problem faced by our community and waste our effort in blaming each other. Given this context, Muslim community needs an intellectual awakening in the field of knowledge that shapes the world. Muslim Intellectual Network for Empowerment, MIND, was created with this very objective. Its main goals are to motivate Muslims to pursue liberal sciences as a community and religious necessity, and to make the pursuit of knowledge a grassroots effort. To provide venues for Muslim professionals and the adult population to broaden their knowledge of how the world works by exposing them to basics of economics, political sciences, history, philosophy, and behavioral sciences. This will be done through easy-to-understand webinars, book clubs, blogs, and presentation. And thirdly, to organize accomplished academics to contribute to the development of Muslims by sharing their thoughts and knowledge and producing ideas that will reshape the world. This work is extremely crucial for Muslims to live with dignity and without oppression. Creating a population of learned individuals will make sure that the future generation of Muslims will be intellectually empowered to face the challenges of the modern world and lead it in shaping its affairs. Insha'Allah, with these efforts and your contribution, we will bring about a positive change in this world. Please subscribe to our work through Substack link here or scanning the QR code below. Thank you. Jazakallahu khairan.